Hi everyone. Today we try to make a Peking duck. Most of the materials we prepare here are easily available here at the supermarkets. So we try to do something that everyone can easily replicate. Even though we may have some alteration to the traditional way of what you will see in Chinese restaurants. However, after some tries in the past, we think the taste-wise, it's quite good. Anyway, we show you how the process of making it, and and also how we get it served, and what kind of a wine we choose to pair with the Peking duck. So we got the duck from the superstore. It's a pretty fatty one. You don't have to, even though there's all kinds of saying that you need to have special duck. Not really. Taste-wise, I think this is good enough. Onion,
ginger roots,
garlic, and this is a star and a seed. And this is the Sichuan
peppercorn.
yeah, peppercorn, regular one. And this is the Sichuan green peppercorn. Now, the green peppercorn has a little bit more bite, and sometimes it has a little bit numb feeling if you chew on it directly. These are used to kind of mitigate the meaty, fatty taste, which is very useful. Most of these materials will be used to marinate the duck. So we'll prepare for the marination first. So this is a light soy sauce, and you can literally get it anywhere. If you don't have this type, any light soy sauce will do. And traditionally people use the Chinese cooking wine. Since we are doing a lot of wine ourselves today, instead of using the traditional wine, we'll use the red wine, right? Now here's the difference. You can also use white wine if you choose to. However, to kind of overpowering the fat, too much of a fatty taste, red wine is pretty good here. Now to serve, we'll use later the sweet paste, right? And this is a plum sauce. Okay, and we'll show you how these will be used, but that will be at a later stage. First, we'll prepare the materials.
This is for marinade, right?
Yeah. Just cut into small pieces, and it doesn't have to be too much. That should be enough. And then, just slice it. Okay, and these aside.
Right, so we can see Shawn already chopped all the ingredients, and he has added this light soy sauce, the red wine, and now
We'll put in some
crushed pepper.
yeah.
Anything else?
Nope, that's about it for the marinating. Okay,
Or just
we
put
can
the
just put the fatty duck into it, and just try to get it everywhere. I hate to use the word massaging it, but yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And after we'll soak in there, right?
Yeah. And now at this stage, don't cut the ducky anywhere. Yeah, don't cut it open. Just keep it as is.
So you shuffle all the
Yeah.
hard ingredients into the inside of the duck.
Yeah.
It will give more flavor.
Okay. Now, right now the ducky is very happy, being massaged and with all the juices on it. We'll leave it for marinating for about half an hour to 1 hour. Okay, and if you have more time, leave it for overnight. It's also fine. It's your choice. But in terms of cooking, it doesn't really affect too much. So half an hour to 1 hour. Just a bit short history about Peking duck. What is different from a normal roast duck? Peking duck was made famous actually way back in the 14th century. Even though the recorded history of roasting duck in China went back as far as 800 years. But the name Peking duck comes from the first emperor of Ming Dynasty. We know the Ming Dynasty runs a total of 285 years in Chinese history. There were 16 emperors during the period. And the first emperor actually made this one Peking duck famous. Somehow he just enjoys eating duck, so all his chefs try all their best to cook all kinds of ways, and so somehow this is the one really came out as the one most favorable. And then gradually people adopted the same menu all over the world, and that's where we have the Peking duck. It's related to how the duck is picked, how to prepare, the material used, how it's cut up, and how it's served. So it has a whole set of procedures and steps. So the marinating of the duck is done, and we'll take it out. Yeah? And to dry up, probably would take another half an hour or so. Okay, we'll just put it here. Now, here's the important step. We need to make up certain sauce to brush it onto the duck for that to dry up. Okay? That will form a coating of kind of a sweet, a little bit sour covering of it, the coating of it. So the sauce we use to do the coating is 3 tablespoons of honey. Yeah, we put it into a bowl, 2 and 3 of it, and then 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Now again, we use light soy sauce. Okay, don't use those dark colored soy sauce. 2 of these. Okay, and interesting part is we need to have 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Now, why do we need this thing? Actually, the vinegar here has the, I think it has the effect of neutralizing some of the unpleasant taste
Or smell.
in the in the meat. So okay, mix it up, and then we need to add some, because this sauce is too strong. Okay, we don't need it that strong. Add some hot water into it. And that will do. So what do we do with this? We'll just brush this onto the duck. Yeah.
So both sides?
Yep. We'll do everywhere that we can, essentially it's everywhere.
So after brushing it, what do you do?
I'll just leave it outside to dry up for half an hour or so that the surface liquid will dry up. Okay, and this step is very important because and after that we'll just start the roasting of it. Now the purpose of having the honey sauce here in this roasting is for two purposes. One is to certainly to make it a little bit sweeter, right? Have a sweet taste. There's another purpose. Having the honey coating, right? The sauce coating here. When the duck is roasted, you will have the effect of making the skin crispy. Right? It's very tasty and crispy, which is awfully important. Actually, that is the crucial difference of Peking duck as compared to other roast duck. Okay. So it's more or less dry. You don't have to wait until it's totally dry. And then before going into the oven, which are already preheating to 350 Fahrenheit, we give it another coating. Fat ducky. It's very content, immersed in all the tasty, nice juice, awfully happy. And before taking a hot
Sauna.
yes. Okay, now, before that, I need to do a little bit something more. So just what we will do is just wrap up the head of, the tip of the wings, so that it doesn't really get burned. What's the purpose? Purely because of aesthetically, it looks a little bit better, right? Because otherwise, these other parts will get burned. Because today my daughter is here, so I need to make everything look a little bit kind of perfect.
All right.
Now,
Shall we cut it up?
no. Duck roasting, don't cover it up because they like to have the sauna directly.
Okay. Open the oven. $350.
Depending on the during the process of roasting, we'll still need to brush the honey sauce onto it at least 2 to 3 times, yeah, so that the skin will get very beautiful brownie and golden color,
Caramelized. Yeah. Perfect. So what's the total time you will actually bake it for?
Well, sometimes when we are not too sure of the time, we just say, let's wait and see. So in the meantime, we start to prepare other materials for the serving. And this is the simple white wraps. You can buy all these things at Fairway on Quadra Street. And be careful when you buy the wraps. Buy the thin ones. Don't buy the thick ones. The thick ones won't work. Buy the thin ones. Yeah, it's very thin. Okay. And then we prepare the long green onion, and we'll cut it into sections of 2 inches long, about. Likewise for the cucumber, also about 2 inches long. Okay, and then they just keep slicing it. Okay, and then I'll prepare leave it here. For the cucumber, just have 1 slice and leave it here. Okay.
So these are for serving, right?
You're right. Yes. Yeah. That's a little bit still too thick. We need to be very thin. It gives a very good mouth taste. If it's too thick, it's not good.
It will be wrapped into these wraps.
Yeah.
With all these delicious sauce. So we just have to check on the duck. It's so pretty already. And now Shawn's going to brush the special sauce again. Don't you love the seasoning sound? The duck is almost ready. Now it's time to heat up the wraps. It only takes about 3 to 4 minutes to warm it up.
Now it's done. Very beautiful golden shine on it.
Look at this bird.
Yeah. Okay. Before I started, cutting into pieces, just a little bit talk on the wine pairing. Usually, roast duck is suggested because of the duck's rich, tasty, and succulent taste, right? It's suggested to have a Pinot Noir or Grenache or Tempranillo, these kind of fruit-forward wine, some kind of a medium to heavy body. However, it's not suggested to have too heavy wine with a strong tannin because it may be overpowering. Now for Peking duck, it's a little bit kind of a different story. I would suggest, because we use long onion, as you can see, and also the cucumber with wraps, so it's kind of already mitigating the oily part of it. So I personally prefer to use for example, Riesling or Pinot Noir Rosé or the Zinfandel Rosé. I think these kind of fruity with a little bit crispy taste wine will be better for the Peking duck. Anyway, I'll start to cut, and then you can see. Now the key to cut the Peking duck is you need to cut the surface. Don't cut deep, right? The surface skin is the best part of it. Okay, so cut thin, like this, right? Okay, like that. Okay, like. So in other words, cut it sideways. Okay. We have the wraps here, briefly steamed for only about 3 minutes. Yeah, don't steam it too long. And these are cut. So I'll show one how to wrap it up properly. Okay, yeah, let's get one. And then
The sweet bean sauce.
we'll get first
Cucumber.
some cucumber. Well, depending on how much, it doesn't really matter. How you want to get more or less. Wow. So, and then some long green onions onto it, but don't get too much because it will be a little bit spicy. Okay, and then we get the meat onto it. Pretty simple actually. And then actually the skin part is the best. It's kind of a secret. And then here's the sweet bean paste. Okay, you can get this at Fairway easily. Just put some onto it. Now it's about done. So what we do is just wrap it up like this, and then now just close the end and wrap it like this. Okay?
Let's see your first bite.
That's beautiful.
Speechless, right?
Cheers.